Hey, this is Lynn Thomas with the Thomas Consulting. And if you really, really want to learn how to level up your life, your business, your future, your potential, you should be listening to the Time to Shine Today podcast with my good friend, Scott Ferguson. We'll show you how to live big, be all of who you are. And here's Scott.
Time to Shine Today podcast Varsity Squad. This is Scott Ferguson, and I have my awesome sauce friend here, Lynn Thomas. And she is a tax attorney. So people like myself and other people out there, taxes can be a scary world, a scary word. And Lynn has, through her years and her dynamic energy, helps people navigate those waters. She's a consultant now more, and she is someone that finds innovative and novel ways to create fiercely loyal clients and employees. As employees uncover their untapped potential, become deeply engaged and excel at delighting customers. Consequently, these businesses achieve higher levels of profits. Hear that? High profits, growth, and retention. And I love that Lynn carved out the time to come on. And Lynn, please introduce yourself to the Time to Shine Today podcast Varsity Squad. But first, what's your favorite color and why?
Blue, because it's calm. It's always around in the sky, so it's always available. And it's close to purple, which is regal. And that's my second favorite color.
Thank you for saying that. Because being a tax attorney in your past life, or even you probably still are attached to it a little bit, like you got to have that red side too, to be able to get aggressive when you need aggressive. So you are regal, you are royalty. I think purple fits you, but blue is good too. So anyways, I'm glad you said purple. That's fantastic, because that's where I was going to kind of go. You're a blend of the both. So let's hear a little bit about your story, Lynn. Again, welcome to the show, but I'm so stoked to hear the story, being a tax attorney, moving into the consultancy side to help businesses and people really level up.
Right. So I want to say I'm a former tax attorney with Arthur Andersen.
Very good. Got it.
Then I left there, went to Bank of Boston as a private banker, and then a change agent, and left there because of how they treated clients. So an example there, well, clients and employees, but particularly in this situation, employees, there was a reorganization going on. Two employees out of 1,800 had heart attacks because of the stress.
Oh my goodness.
So one died, one was out on disability. So I think this is like, okay, it's stressful. Let's figure out how to help people manage stress. And I went and found a company that would come in for $500 and train 1,800 people around stress, and went to the head of the project, and he said, no. And I said, no, it's $500 for everybody. And he said, no. And I said, I'll pay for it. He said, no. And
wow.
I turned around, Scott, and the hair on the back of my neck stood up, and it's like, I'm out of here. So I gave my 2-day notice the next day, and it's like, I want to find a way. And what I'm really passionate about in many ways is find the win-win-win. People talk about where shareholders are winning now with companies and real wages have not really increased. The only way to really run a business successfully from where I sit is that you have to care deeply about employees, deeply about clients, deeply about stakeholders, which sometimes are communities, and obviously about your shareholders. But if you just go in to really use employees as a cog in a machine to make money on the other end, you're going to burn people out. They're not going to refer people to you. The new generations are all over social media. And, Tom Peters said it well when he said extreme humanism is where we're at. You have to really deeply care about people and be authentic about it.
Thank you for saying that. We have GTY in our office here at Time to Shine Today. We only have 26 employees, but we live in a GTY greater than yourself.
Yes.
Period. You have to. You care for your employees, your clients, your shareholders. Everybody matters, and they need to be taught that. I love that. We're doing this week. They laugh at me. We're doing love letters. So what it is we have to send a letter of appreciation. It's like a secret Santa we do in the office, but we do kind of love letters, and they're not intimate or anything like that. They're just, what I love about Lynn. And this is what I saw you do this week. And I keep that in here. Thank you for saying that, because that means so much to organizations, especially in this day and age. Like you said, social media, everything can get lost. And customer service, I swear, Lynn, has went through the pooper. It just has. If you go to even restaurants these days, it's like, I just love to be greeted with the server's name. I'm Kara, or I'm Michelle. I love that. So thank you for saying that. So you, lack of a better term, you up and left, right?
Oh, totally.
Okay, let's take it from there.
Well, I didn't have a plan. So what am I going to do?
I love it.
I am a planner, but I knew I could not stomach.
I was going to say that, but I'll let you say it. Awesome.
I could not stomach putting my efforts, because I really did care about the project and the people and the employees. And I could not put my efforts into an organization that didn't care at all. I mean, it was like, they didn't even fake it. I mean, I'm glad they didn't fake it, Scott, but there wasn't even like, well, yeah, we'll think about it, get back to you in a month. I mean, I'm glad not, because I was able to leave, but looking back on it, like, this gentleman did not care that I knew that he nor anyone else really cared. And if you don't care, then what is it? You just replace people. I mean, it's like they're objects. So, it's so you talk about customer service. What's happened with with COVID is it's accelerated the need for digital technology.
Sure.
Anywhere like 4 to 6 to 10 years. So many companies are trying have accelerated the production of their digital technology. It's not real good. The bots out there are not really good.
Right.
Very frustrating for all of us.
Yeah, not personal at all.
Not personal. And it's very hard in this day and age to get really, you said, good service, like at a restaurant. There people are stressed out. We're all stressed out. We've all done some incredibly uncomfortable, difficult things through the pandemic.
Sure.
And, when I read that one out of 4 managers has fired someone during COVID because of something they did on Zoom that they didn't like.
Wow.
So if they didn't have their camera on, if they got up and left, if they weren't paying attention, I mean, and I'm thinking, like, you're firing people. I mean, why not say, what's going on? Is your family okay? It's like, maybe, someone just fell. It's like, so there's not that understanding of how difficult it was. So 31% of people left without another job.
Wow.
So that's how difficult it was. And, I know I have two of my clients where they lost some key people and, kept saying they have to have the difficult conversations. Like, well, we didn't have to have it here. We shouldn't have to have it there. You need to ask people genuinely, how are they doing? How's their family doing?
Yes.
What's going on with them? And to have one-to-one 15 to 30-minute conversations with direct reports every week.
Right.
Because people are feeling disconnected. We're all disconnected. Right. We're more disconnected than ever. And if you're not connecting with from a manager's point of view, with the people who report to you, and you don't know what's going on with them as human beings.
Absolutely.
Yes, as an employee, but as human beings.
Right.
How are they being in this? And this is
we're human beings, not human doings.
Doings, right.
You know what I'm saying? So let's get into this. What kind of companies right now are you working with?
I'm working with some high-tech companies because they tend to have a high IQs and not as high emotional intelligence.
Sure.
So handling these situations. Really, firms, companies that value their employees, so key talent, or they have long-term relationship with their clients. So investment managers, banks, property and casualty insurance agencies and companies. So really professional services, basically. But in this day and age, I'm helping a lot of clients get their employees, quote, back to work, whatever that looks like, and the process.
Right.
And make it a win for everybody. Like, you have to give them a reason to come back. Like, one of my clients, he took over the first floor, and we sat and we said, okay, well, what would bring people back? So he brought in sofas, and he brought in great catered food every day, all day long. He brought in like ping pong tables, pool table, all the fun stuff. And people got more work done sitting there catching up with their employees. So he gave them a reason to come back to work. They're not going to come back. Give them a good reason. Collaboration, brainstorming. I want them to become stellar in what they do. I want them to be masters. Who wants to be like average, mediocre? It's like, forget it.
Yeah, it's true that, that people need to see that you love what you do in the service of people that love what you do. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about providing services to the people. But if you provide the atmosphere for people to come and really level up, it's going to help out a lot. So let me ask you this.
Sure.
When you're working with, say, let's say you're in discovery period and you're starting to have the questions that you're asking and whatnot, and we go through, is there any good question that you wish they would ask you but never do?
They being the clients and employees?
Yes. Asking you as the coach consultant. We'll call you a coach consultant. So asking you. what do you wish that they would ask you in this day and age?
To say, with all the years that I've been working, what are the 2 or 3 most important blind spots that
you nailed it. That is it. Blind spots. Anyways, I'm sorry I cut you off. I literally wrote down blind spot on this piece of paper. I love it. Go ahead. Sorry.
So blind spots that I've seen repeatedly that senior executives at whatever size company just don't see. And they really don't see it, Scott. I mean, I'm thinking, oh, come on, you had a clue, didn't you? Like, you sort of saw that a little bit. No, blind is blind. Like, they don't see it.
Right. There's no half blind. Yeah. That I love that you love that you said that. So what do you believe that your strengths are?
I care deeply about people. I will only take on and work with companies where I know I can make a difference. And I ask really good questions. That comes from my legal background. I have lots of energy. I'm very passionate, and I never give up on clients.
I love it.
One of my last clients said to me, there was this one person who was challenging, and they really weren't willing to make a hard decision. And I said, listen, you guys have to make some decision, because I have never not achieved my goals, and I'm going to achieve it here. I will work with you until it works and how it works.
I love that.
Yeah. And then the president said at the end, not the CEO, because he was a little bit of the problem, but the president said, Lynn, you achieved more in 1 year than I did in 10.
That's
so
beautiful.
I get people rocking and rolling.
Yeah.
I come in, I'm a lot of energy. And, we only have 2%. We only tap into 2% of our brain on an average day, Scott. We're not even, most of us
not even close. We'd be able to move mountains with our brains, literally.
Yeah. And
I love it.
And we have so many untapped potentials and skills and ideas. And that's another gift I have, is I can see people's potential. I could see where someone could become, people at Arthur Andersen shared with me as a tax attorney, well, Lynn, you're a little more gregarious and a little warmer and friendlier. And they weren't saying like you're weird. It was saying they were just noticing things. And that helped me to see me in a different light. So I do that with people too. And that helps them to maybe see their blind spots. And, I adopt the motto from Pixar. I don't know if you know about it, but it says they believe there's a slice of genius in every employee.
Love it. Absolutely. I look for it. I hire for it. And I feel like right now I am at a Steve Farber. I don't know if you ever heard of Steve, but a Steve Farber event, which Steve is a great guy. I've read and devoured everything. I'm going to send you a book. It's called Radical Leap. It's a business parable. That's the only kind of stuff I like to read, really. But he believes in LEAP, which is love, energy, audacity, and proof.
Oh,
and like that's LEAP. And you are the epitome of that. It's almost like you wrote the book for that. So let me ask you this, Lynn. How much do you appreciate your limitations? Notice I didn't ask you what they are.
No,
I don't want to know.
No,
how much do you appreciate them?
I appreciate them. I appreciate knowing them because then I can. I have a team of people that I can call in to because
clapping. That is awesome.
I'm not trying to be excellent at everything.
No, the smartest person, the most successful person is people that hire someone smarter than they are.
In areas that I don't know things about, and even areas that I do know things about. I want younger people working with me because millennials and Gen Zs see the world really differently.
Hear that, Donnie? Donnie's 28. He's over here applauding. Again, you're not allowed to talk. But no, I love that. I love it. So, Lynn, have you seen the movie Back to the Future?
Yes.
Okay. Remember, there's a DeLorean in Marty McFly. He goes back in time. I want you to go back to your 22-year-old self, Lynn. What kind of knowledge nuggets? So we call them here at Time to Shine today. What kind of knowledge nuggets are you dropping on the 22-year-old Lynn to help her maybe level up, blast through, or shorten that learning curve just a little bit? Not change anything, but helping her blast through.
I would say more about believe in my gut. Get advisors around me and asking for help.
That's 2 questions in a row that I've asked you that you are not too cool to ask for help. You love and delegate. So that means you're getting your asking gear there too, right? You're asking for help. And then you believe in your gut, surround yourself and ask for help. I love that you're humble enough to say that. So how does Lynn, and astute enough too, but how does Lynn want her dash remembered? That little line in between your incarnation date, your expiration date, your life date, and your death date. Hopefully it's way down the line, but how do you want Lynn's dash remembered?
The big one is she made a difference in the world. And the people I want to be a hero to are people who are dislike, are bored in their jobs, and they work 40 hours a week. That's a mismatch. No one should have to do that. And I would love in some way to be able to help get people to really love their jobs, enjoy it, be jazzed about it, pumped when you wake up in the morning. I can't wait to get out there.
Yes.
And I was privileged. My father loved his work. So I was very naive. And until 13 years old, I did not know most people didn't love their work. Wow. And so my sisters too, the reason I changed jobs, they weren't challenging. They weren't fun. Mm-hmm. I mean, I wasn't being challenged. And,
yes.
And what I'm doing now, I'm constantly being challenged as yes. I involve the skills and the knowledge and everything that I need, that my team needs to bring forward for our clients. And, we offer a guarantee, 100 to 300% return on your investment within 1 year.
Wow.
We'll refund your money. And we've been doing that 18 years and never had to do it. And people say, well, how can you do that? It's like, wait, I'm a tax attorney.
We can make it happen. I love it.
I know what improvements and changes will hit the bottom line or not hit the bottom line.
Love that.
It's, you tell me the metrics you want to measure by, I don't care what they are. I will make it happen for you.
I love that. I love it. So what do people misunderstand the most about Lynn?
About me personally or me business?
About Lynn. Come on. This is time to shine today. It's not all business and numbers with us.
Yeah.
We get to know the person. What do people misunderstand the most about Lynn?
Misunderstand. That's a great question. I haven't been asked that one. That I am very kind. As someone said, I can say anything to anybody and make it sound nice.
I poop in a rose. I love it.
Yes. If you hit them on the head with a 2x4, it's not a good strategy.
Sure.
But underneath it, I've got a core of steel.
Yeah.
And that is funneled and fueled. As somebody said, it's written in bio is that my younger sister was murdered 30 years ago by her husband and has not been held accountable.
Right.
And I learned through that, which she was the most important person in the world, that if someone said to me that you could live a good life after that, I would have said, you're out of your mind. And I've had to dig real deep inside me. And I found that core. I found that part of me, which is about I live joyfully. I choose life every day. And that is the only way for me day after day to be able to get up and go forward because of my sister's case, different challenges and all.
Sure.
And so I think people misunderstand. Sometimes people say, I do a lot of personal growth workshops. So, because she's a granola head. And someone said, no, she's really just brilliant.
Exactly. I love it.
I'm an out of box, a phrase that's been overused, but I'm an out of box thinker. And I challenge my clients to come up with 20 solutions to problems, not one or two, but 20. As a friend of mine who invented voicemail, Scott Jones, said, that's what he does every day. And he has a patent every 2 years. So I forced clients to do that. And then they become really creative. Then they start tapping into that untapped potential because, when I do that,
problems, it takes creativity to get through problems. That's the bottom line. You have to. I search them out myself. Being an executive coach, the kind of people that I coach, I have a different problem every day, and it's fantastic. So, what keeps Lynn up at night?
The problems we have in the world and the problems we have in business.
Okay.
And is it all sustainable? Are we going in the right direction? Are we creating more value for the world? Are we creating more?
I know you are.
Well, hey, I can't do it alone. I mean, it's like, but so that keeps me up. With clients, I would say their willingness to be gutsy. You got to be gutsy in this world. You got to persevere. You've got to have courage and be brave and just, whatever your fear is, lean into it.
Sure.
It's trying to tell you something. Lean into that edge. That's your growth edge. The new mindset that's needed is people need to be able to have a growth mindset, constantly be developing themselves. They need to be agile. They need to be resilient. They need to be able to pivot in the midst of disruption. and they need to be highly innovative. We need constant innovation for our future unseen, for what unknown futures.
I love it.
That's what I bring out in people a lot, is their talents, their innovation. I didn't see it that way. It's like,
sure.
Well, no, you didn't, but it's another perspective. And there's I learned in law school that you can have 10 people, a case where there were 10 people that witnessed a car accident. Very simple. They had 10 different versions. No one was lying. They had different versions. And that, there's no one truth, but the more people that I can get around the table and that can talk about a situation, the better the solution, the more accurate we can describe the problem. And and the frontline people are the people who have most of the answers, by the way. So getting them a place at the table and really getting diversity. I mean, it sounds trite, but the more diverse organizations are by far the more successful. And
Absolutely.
We need to get,
as long as that talent pool is strong, no matter what the diversity is, they have to be strong. I love it. So let's take out of this equation anything electronic. Let's take out a cell phone, notebook, iPad, computer. They don't count. What are 3 things that Lynn can't live without? Quickly.
My daughter.
Okay.
Well, family, friends.
Sure.
Family, friends. God through A Course in Miracles, my spiritual and meditation development, and my deep connections with my community. And because for me, life is about connections.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Connection and community are key. And I hear that in almost every answer that you give, which is fantastic. Time to Shine Today podcast. Varsity Squad, we are back. And I got my friend Lynn Thomas here. And Lynn, you and I could easily talk 20, 30 minutes on each one of these questions. But you have 5 seconds with no explanations.
Okay.
You ready to rock?
I'm ready.
And they all can be done that way.
Okay.
Here we go. What's the best leveling up advice Lynn's ever received?
Get advisors.
Love it. Share one of your personal habits that contributes to your success.
I never give up. I'm persistent.
Yes, you are. Outside of your website, which is thomasconsultingwins.com and also timetoshinetoday.com, my shameless plug, what website does Lynn like to go to level up?
Strategic coach,
okay.
Dan Sullivan.
Love it. So you see me walking down the street or coming to the office or wherever, and like, Fergie looks like he's in his doldrums. What book might you hand me?
Probably Emotional Intelligence 2.0.
Love it. Love it. What's your most commonly used emoji when you text?
Warmth.
Okay. The warmth.
Authenticity.
The hugs. Love it.
Hugs, yeah.
Any nicknames growing up?
Actually, a little bit of a painful one, not a nickname, but a Jolly Green Giant, because I was
taller.
I was 5'2" at 12 years old. So,
gotcha. Chess or checkers?
Both.
There you go. Favorite charity and organization like to give your time or money to?
Homicide survivors.
Thank you for that. And also, thank you for donating to my little brother's cause, too, the Suicide Lifeline. Thank you so much for doing that. And what is the best decade of music? 60s, 70s, 80s, or 90s?
70s, and I would go shamelessly and totally with the Beatles.
There you go. Love the Beatles. That new documentary that just came out, that's pretty cool. The recordings. They never shown and how George Harrison actually quit the band in the middle of them, and he came back, and they had like 3 weeks to record "Let Go" or what is it? What song was it? Anyways, you just find it. You'll be able to find it. It's fantastic if you're really into the Beatles. So, Lynn, how can we find you, hon?
I'm on LinkedIn. So Lynn Thomas, Lynn Thomas. And then on my website, which you just mentioned, which is Thomas Consulting, and at the end, wins, which a client said I was win with you. So that's where wins came from.com.
Love it. And Lynn and squad, that'll all be in our show notes there. And make sure you visit them, and we'll be sending out emails upon emails to really check out Lynn's consulting website. And Lynn, do one last favor and leave us with one last knowledge nugget we can take with us, internalize, and take action on.
When you have a pressing problem, come up with 20 solutions.
I love it.
And force yourself. Around 10, you're going to be annoyed with me. Around 15, you're going to think it's impossible. But you're 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20, you're going to combine them. And you're going to think, oh my gosh, I am really creative. I'm really innovative. And that's what I wish for all of you.
Love it. And I'm using the word love so much in this because Lynn actually loves what she does, and she loves her clients, and she loves you. I mean, she's all about the win-win-win. She wants people to really care, business to care for their employees, care for their clients, care for their shareholders. No matter where they at in the rung, everybody gets the love. She cares, again, care and love, care about deeply, and it makes a difference to help them level up. She wants you to really see your potential. And if you're stuck somewhere, get your ass in gear, like my good friend Leah Woodford said. And if you're in a position where you're not sure and you can delegate it, then delegate it. She wants you to believe in your gut. Your intuition is rarely wrong. Surround yourself with solid people to help yourself and clients level up. She definitely does not want you to be bored with your job. She wants you to love what you're doing. And sometimes it just takes love to get you to where you want to be because you're so passionate. You wouldn't be in a business owning it if the love wasn't there in the first place. Lynn can help you find that love and help you level up and do it in the correct way. She chooses to choose life, enjoy every day. And if you have a problem, come up with 20 solutions to the problem. I've been told to do this before. And like Lynn said, I was pissed. Bottom line, I was like, man, I have the solution. No, keep digging, because that digging will help stretch your solution skills even wider for your next problem, because you're going to have problems. And if you have fear, lean into them. That's where the growth happens. And I have grown so much in this 32 minutes with my good friend, Lynn Thomas, and she's earned her varsity squad letter. She's levels up her health. She levels up her wealth. She's full of love, and gratitude. And that's what I have for you. So thank you so much, Lynn. I love your guts for coming on.
It's been great, Scott. Thank you so much for having me on.
You're very welcome. Talk soon. Bye now.
You got it.
Hey, thanks so much for listening to this episode of Time to Shine Today podcast. Proudly brought to you by Sutter & Nugent Real Estate Excellence, who can be reached at 561-249-7266 and online at www.sutterandnugent.com. If you are a business owner or professional who would like to be interviewed on Time to Shine Today, please visit timetoshinetoday.com/guest. If you like this episode, please subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or wherever you get your podcasts. There's a link in the show notes to our website. Also there, you will see our recommended resources. We hope that you will support our show by supporting them. If you like what you've been listening to, it'd be great if you could just give us a 5-star rating and tell your friends how to subscribe while you're at it. I'm your host, Scott Ferguson, and until next time, let's level up. It's our time to shine.